The God Gundam is one of my favorite Gundams of all time. Of course, I do like the Gundam, I love the kit, and I love the show that it's from. And when I heard that the God Gundam HD kit is getting this Gunpla build treatment, you know I had to get it. And of course, it got me curious, how would the Blazing Gundam go? How's it going, guys? It is Plastic Disasta, and today we're going to take a look at the HG Gundam Breaker Battlelogue Blazing Gundam. Now, I've already talked about the anime or the Gunpla commercial on the Gov Crimson Custom, so check out that review. Instead of an enemy AI, this is one of the main characters, one of the heroes trying to stop the enemy AI. If you guys bought the HG God Gundam, you already know it's relatively the same kit because, of course, they're using that one as a base. Taking a look at the box art, we can see that the Blazing Gundam is doing a falcon kick. Okay, I'm kidding. I know that's not the official name. We also have an explosion going off in the background. Taking a look at this side of the box, we have the front and back shot of the model kit, and right here is the information of what this Gundam is about. If you want to read, feel free to pause and read it for yourself. Moving further to the right of this box, we see the Blazing Gundam in its action poses. Right down there, you have an option of to have the kit with or without the mask. Onto this side of the box, it shows that Bandai is encouraging you to customize your own Gunpla if you like. And right here is just the introduction I've already talked about on the Gov Crimson Custom review. Alright, so inside the box, we are greeted with 4 bags of runners and a manual. Take a look at the cover of the manual, we saw a familiar box art, and right over here we see a nice line art of the Blazing Gundam, and over to the right we have more information, and right here we have the pilot or the Gunpla builder. If you want to read, feel free to pause and do so. Alright, so looking at this part of the manual, it looks like we're going to have a lot of leftover parts. Well, how do I know? Well, look at the red axis. Taking a look at the back of the manual, it looks like we have information of the weapons, and right over here, like I said, this is using the HG God Gundam as a base kit. Just a heads up, they're using a kit that came out in 2010 as a base model kit. Of course, you do have a color guide if you're planning on painting it. Runner A is going to be a 2-colored runner. We have a big chunk of gray and a little bit of yellow. Skipping over Runner B because they're only borrowing some parts of the HG God Gundam. So we're going to go right to Runner C, which is going to be the dark blue parts. Runner D1 is going to be the white parts, and you also have Runner D2, which is a copy of this section. Skipping over Runner E, we're going to go right to F. It's going to be another multicolored runner parts. Dark blue, red, clear green, and tiny bits of yellow. Runner G1 is going to be the white parts, while we have Runner G2 is going to be a copy of this section. Medium-sized polycap runner, beam saber effect parts, finally a small sticker sheet. That's about it for the unboxing. It seems like there's not a lot of parts. I can put this together really quickly, and I'll see you guys right after that. And here is the Blazing Gundam all put together. I have to say, for building experience, it does go by pretty fast, and as for color separation, I have to say I am pretty surprised, but you still have to fill in some of the details. I'm talking about panel lining and putting the black paint in, and if you want, you can put the black stickers on. And speaking of that, the 9 and 10 stickers go on the side of the feet. Pay attention which side it goes on. And 3 and 4 goes onto the ankle armor. Again, pay attention which side it goes on. The number 2 stickers goes right under there, while the number 1 stickers goes into this part of the shin. Up on the head, the number 8 stickers goes onto the eyes, while the number 5 stickers goes right up here. Finally, 6 and 7 goes onto this piece. As for seam lines, if you are using the red mask, you don't have to worry about this seam line. I could say that this is a seam line right here, but it could go as a detail. There's a seam line right on the backpack going up and down. There is a seam line going up and down on the torso area, but maybe it could go as a detail. Correct me if I'm wrong. Finally, for the thigh, that is a seam line, but it could go as a detail. That's about it for the out-of-box presentation. I have to say, it's actually not that bad, but of course, you know me, I had to put the details in, and that's what I'm going to do, so I'll see you guys right after that. After you put the work in, here is what the Blazing Gundam looks like, and from my experience, it's actually not that hard to do. So the ones that's giving me a lot of trouble would be the black paint on the feet, but if you're patient enough, it will look great. For accessories, starting off with hand options, as you can see, he has the closed fist, and next up you have the weapon holding hands. Beam saber effect parts, one long, one short, and these beam saber effect parts goes onto the beam saber handles that's stored on the side skirt, and the tonfas stored on the backpack. I do wish we get more beam saber effect parts, but No big deal. Also, the tonfas are secured pretty well. Finally, you have the blazing kick effect part. I know the full name, I'm just not gonna bother pronouncing it. So to attach the effect part, you might want to pull out one of the feet. It can go in either one. Take out the ankle guard. It should pop off like that. Then you bring it over to the effect part and you should put the foot back where it was. Well, the effect part, excuse me. And there you go. So you might want to bring this claw up, bring these flaps down, and you're going to do the same thing for the other side. And bring these flaps out. Same thing for the other one. Get yourself an action-based stand and plug it in right there. It may not be the best kicking pose, but you guys got the idea. So that's about it for the accessories. Now we also have extra parts that came with the original God Gundam kit. You do have the erupting burning finger hands, except they're not in orange. I think it would be cool that if you just give it to the God Gundam and make it look like it's cooling down, like he just got done using that move. Next up, you have almost the whole shoulder of the God Gundam, except you're missing a polycap and a little thruster that goes onto the shoulder. As for the Blazing Gundam, that thruster part is located on the back skirt. Except you have the God Gundam's original feet. In case you don't like the Blazing Gundams, you always have this option. If you don't like the front leg armor, you always have the original God Gundam's front leg armor. Also get the God Gundam's ankle armor, but I'm not gonna repeat, you know what to do. Remember how I said that you can display this kit with or without the red mask? Now, here's the piece that you could use without the red mask. It's actually one of God Gundam's original piece, and you also get an extra faceplate, chin, and an extra noggin, so you almost have the whole head. And I forgot to mention that this piece goes along with the head. The only thing you're missing is the V-fin and this piece going on the noggin. Finally, you have these extra pieces that cannot connect to the Blazing Gundam whatsoever. It will be interesting that if you switch out some of the red pieces for these blue pieces, kind of give like a two-tone blue for the God Gundam. For articulation, the head is on a double ball joint. The shoulder can swing forward. Shoulder is on a ball joint. The arm can move up that high, almost 90 degrees. 90-degree bend on the elbow. The wrist is on a ball joint. Ball joint on the waist. Front skirt can move up that high. The side skirt can go out this far. As for the back skirt, it can move out. Onto the legs, you do get like a little bit of swinging movement. It can kick up that high, can move back that far. And as for the splits, well, you don't get a full splits. Thigh swivel, double bend at the knee. Beam saber holders can rotate. As for the ankle armor, it can only move forward and backwards, and there is a ball joint right down there that's kind of separate from the ankle armor. And as for the pivot, moving on to the backpack, well, nothing moves. Overall, the articulation is not bad, though I wish it could be better. You can still pull off some dynamic poses. Size comparisons, here he is right next to the God Gundam, and as you can tell, they're both the same height. And I do want to compare more things to it. How you can see that the Blazing Gundam still have some characteristics of the God Gundam, like how the backpack is now moved on to the gauntlets, and the gauntlets is moved on to the ankles. Proper size comparisons, here he is right next to the Maxter Gundam, the USA RX-72. I'm totally not disrespecting the Maxter Gundam. What are you guys talking about? More patriotic.
Plastic Disasta, I love you, man, but never disrespect Chibity or the Gundam Master like that ever again.
Okay, you caught me. Cringy apology video coming up, I guess. Finally, here he is right next to Optimus Prime and Godzilla. So that's about it for the size comparisons. So let's move on to my final thoughts. So for my final thoughts, overall, I say it's a pretty nice kit. Though it may not be the best, I still have fun with it. If you guys already have the HG God Gundam, you already know what to expect on this kit. And if you guys like that kit, I say pick this one up. One of the negatives I forgot to mention earlier on the review or during is that the tonfas, even though I did the shake test, it's still secured pretty well. But if you hold the kit the wrong way, it does pop up kind of easily, so watch out for that. But other than that, I'm glad I got this kit, and I'm also glad that the God Gundam gets this Gundam build or Gunpla build treatment. I wish I could see more mobile fighters gets this treatment, like the Master Gundam or the Nobel Gundam. Alright, I'm gonna wrap up the review right here. If you guys made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing. If you have any questions, concerns, comment down below, leave a like. I'll see you guys in the next video. And as a bonus, the Blazing Gundam can ride on Food's Psyche, and if you give the Blazing Gundam one of the special hands that came with the Nobel Gundam, well, it can hold her.